So recently, the Drunken Peasants podcast had a poll, I believe it was last Wednesday, where they asked the viewers, should we have Gman on a future show? And the results came in, and as of right now, it's Hell Motherfucking Yeah has 64% of the vote with 3,214 votes, and Fuck No has 1,807 votes which is 36% of the votes, with a total of 5,021 total votes. Folks, this is a very sad day indeed, because the fact that this many people still want Gman on is amazing to me. Okay? The 64%, and it was higher, but it's 64 currently, and I highly doubt it's going to go down, because I'm just assuming it's going to stay the way it is. So, the 64% are foolish. They don't realize what they're getting themselves into. I am disappointed at the 64% for voting yes. It is a very disappointing thing to see someone who won't add much now, or newer stuff, to the podcast. Just the same behavior and tactics. Now, I'll be honest. I enjoyed Gman's company. I enjoyed his being there on the podcast when he was first on there. And for the first few episodes, like at least the first 6 to 7 with Gman on it, I enjoyed that. I thought it was cool. But the more he came on, the more annoying he got. The more repetitive he got. The more boring he got. The more frustrating it became. I still can't believe how so many people still want to see him on the podcast. I'm still amazed that the majority voted yes for this. But the majority still want him on the podcast. And I'm going to tell you something, folks. I partially believe that there's a group of people out there who just don't feel like voting, but they'd rather not have Gman on the podcast. And this group of people is, as President Richard Nixon would have put it, the silent majority. The silent majority is out there, folks. Over 50,000 people subscribe to the Drunken Peasants podcast. Over 500,000 to 600,000 people subscribe on the Amazing Atheist YouTube channel. Therefore, I am convinced that let me rephrase that. I am partially convinced that the silent majority is out there. And I believe that the silent majority, if they took the time to see Gman on throughout all the podcasts so far, that they would say, no more to Gman, at least not for a long time. The people who voted yes don't realize it yet, but this will happen. This moment will be a sad day in the history of the Drunken Peasants podcast. It is not as bad as the problem they're having right now with YouTube. But still, people who say yes or who voted yes, you don't realize it today or when you voted on the poll. But in the future, you will regret voting Hell Motherfucking Yeah. Sooner or later, they'll be going fuck no. So yeah, enjoy Gman all you want right now. But sooner or later, you'll get tired of him, Mr. 64% of the voting poll. I'm MySpace. Take care.